Hello guys, my name is Ben. My GitHub is Kiboma 2021. So in arrow functions I introduced in JavaScript 6 and they allow us to write shorter function syntax. So we are going to do arrow functions, so we can do away with this for now. Arrow functions, this is the old method of writing functions, whereby you have to write the function name, then you return the message that you want. For example, we can write this. Okay, so let us return this to see what we have. Yeah, we only have this. So you can make this function shorter. Using arrow functions, and you can do that by saying you have to declare the variable. Let this, then you say is equals, probably the into brackets, and then you use this arrow function. Use the arrow function, then after that you can write now what you want. Probably you can write this, then do this, probably say return hello world 2, probably to differentiate that from the first. And after writing this, we can console log to see what we have. Maybe we call this message 2 to differentiate it. So once you console log, we see what we have, if that's correct. Yeah, you have it. So you have used arrow functions to write from the old function, but you don't, with arrow function you don't actually need the return bracket, you don't need the opening curly brackets and all that. So you can easily remove the curly brackets because you don't need it. So okay, arrow function without curly brackets, you don't need the curly brackets. So you can remove this. Maybe let us call this declare variable equal message 3. You can write this 3 to see what it does, and then this is 3. So you don't need the curly brackets, and you don't need the word return. Of course, you don't need that. Okay, you have that. So this is also correct, and this is the shorter version of arrow functions. You don't need the curly brackets, you don't need the word return. So if we run this in my console, you see that we have it, a shorter version of the arrow functions. Another thing, what if we have a variable, we need to place an argument inside here. So let us deal with putting an argument inside the curly functions. So arrow functions with argument, with one argument probably. So assume, let us call this 4. You want to put an argument inside here. So assume this, let's call this a name, first name. Okay, let us call this is a name of a person, and probably then you have to input the name here. Let us assume the person is called John. So once we return this, probably we can call this message here, probably hello. We say hello John, hello the name of that person. Of course, to do that you have to use this. You say hello, then a person, then you say the name of that person. So when you are calling it, it should say hello John, the shorter version with one argument. Okay, let us call this and see what it does. You see, here we have hello John. Again, with one argument, with one argument you don't need the brackets, these brackets, it's not necessary. So arrow function with one argument, remove, you can say remove brackets. You don't need it, you don't need the brackets. So you can remove comfortably the brackets that surround the argument, and it should be good to go. So let us assume this is 5. I'm calling this 5, then probably could say Hero John, to see if we have the second Hero John, maybe John Mwai, so that it differentiates from this. And I try to call this to see if we have John Mwai. Here you have. So you don't, with one argument, you don't need actually the brackets. Okay, what if we have 2 arguments? We can try with 2 arguments. Now with the 2 arguments, you will need the with the 2 arguments, you will need the the brackets. This one you must need the brackets arguments. So you must need the brackets. Let's call this we give it a number 6 to differentiate it from the rest. So we say probably we need name 1. Assume this is a name 1. We have name 2. Now you need the brackets. In this case you can't do without the brackets. So hello, so message 6, which is a hello name 1. Probably you can say name 1 and you say name 2. You say name 1 and name 2. So we expect here now you have to John Mwai, and maybe the second person is Brian Kiprimo. Okay, so Kiprimo. So when you call this, you expect to see John Mwai and Brian Kiprimo, but now you need the brackets when you have 2 arguments. Let us run this to see what we have. Yeah, here you have John Mwai and Brian Kiprimo. So with the arrow functions, we have made this even much shorter. And that's what we are talking about, arrow functions, which is introduced in the latest version of JavaScript. I hope we have covered, this is my GitHub, hopes you have covered what we are supposed to cover for today. Yeah, so thank you, see you in the next lesson.